Alright. I believe we're live.
And we're live.
And
How do we know we're live?
So, Chuck.
Big face on the screen just...
What? Just my face on the screen. So we're here with Chuck Carothers. There we go. We're live. We messed up the intro totally. I got out of work too late. And I couldn't figure out how to work it again.
Way to go, Clint. Makes me feel extra special to be on the show.
We're just winging it, Chuck, you know?
I didn't expect anything else, Clint, so it's all right.
I'm glad.
It's all right.
That's the past two intros you've got burned on, Clint.
Listen, if we get...
So is there an intro that's supposed to play?
Yeah, Nick just made a new one today. Listen, Chuck, if this thing gets professional and we're on time and all that shit, it loses its charm.
Yeah.
So we can't go doing that.
How many watches are we getting at? Like, what are you guys normally getting?
Well,
Just
last week we had an all-time high last week of 15.
Nice. And so how many weeks you guys been doing this? 4 weeks?
This is like the 7th one with Nick.
I missed it.
We did 7?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Well, maybe it's 7 including the ones I did prior to Nick being on. Right now, one person's watching. I'm assuming it's me.
Should be my brother. I was like, well, Crane's got at least one new viewer because I'm going to watch. So.
There it is.
One guy. So what's going on today? What do you guys want to talk about?
What's
been happening with you guys? Then you've been at work today. What have you been working on?
Who, me?
Yeah, you. What have you been working on today?
I've been working on motorcycles.
So you're now a mechanic? You take your mechanic's license?
Yeah, I got a mechanic's license. I'm certified. I'm certified to fix dirt bikes. I'm the test rider.
Okay,
they're like, we got this really cool old bike that you need to test out, and I'm like, sweet. And then they're like, we got this pile of shit that's dangerous and probably should not be on the road. Here, you take this one too. So
Here.
Don't
put on a helmet. Go ride there.
Yep.
Awesome. Nick, what have you been up to?
Just working. Not dirt bikes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's been cold here, and I got excuses for days. So what's up with Canvas? Canvas is you?
Canvas is it's part of me. Canvas was founded by Michael Lee. He had it going for about 6 months or so as an official business before I met him at a radio show.
Not as big as ours, though.
So the Escondido Action Sports Show, whatever. Dan McGranahan invited me to the show. He was another guest on there, and met there. I'd heard of Canvas. I didn't know Mike was in charge of it. I thought it was a brilliant idea. Because there was definitely more than once that I had to rip off all the logos off my gear because I didn't have a sponsor and I didn't have any gear and I wasn't going to run a giant Thor logo or a Fox logo or whatever it was. So I had, ugly gear.
You didn't want to run overalls?
Yeah. I didn't do that.
I love Darren.
It's almost my style, but it's just a little bit. I wasn't good enough for the overalls, I think. So anyways, yeah, I met Michael and I was like, this stuff is awesome. And he knew that I'd also was kind of an entrepreneur into startups and an ideas guy. And we had a few conversations and next thing we know, we formed an agreement. I joined him and now I'm a part owner in Canvas MX along with him and Matt Cordova. He's a smaller one. Matt's he's a BMX pro. He's in Spain right now at the Van Triple Pro. So we got some good people on our team.
Excellent.
But anyways, Canvas is kicking butt. We make custom gear. If you haven't heard of CanvasMX.com, you go to Canvas MX. You design your own gear. We started with just motocross gear. Now we have 2 motocross jerseys, motocross pants. Mountain bike, we have short sleeve, 3/4 sleeve. We have shorts on the way, cycling gear, polos, jackets, bags. We can build your brand for you, Clint. We can build two wheels to freedom needs to
All right,
have
sell
gear.
me, Chuck. Sell me.
Hey, wait.
Got sold, dude.
I know. I already know what you're gonna say.
How does your jersey look?
I never got it. It never showed up.
Oh, you know why? I think it's been Michael's asked me so many times. Where do I send this damn jersey? But he was asking me so long ago. It was when you were like between Austin and Houston and everywhere.
Right, and
With
my
your
leg
shirt. I
was
like,
just
I don't
bolted
know.
on.
I don't know where to send it. So it's in Michael's garage. It's sitting in a box, I'm sure. But it looks good. I'll tell you that much.
Sweet. We may have to
couldn't even
make
lie
some.
and be like, "Oh, it's awesome. I was riding in it, so it's all dirty."
Yeah. So I just got in yesterday a couple jerseys I made for myself. I mean, so can you see that? I can't see it.
Yeah.
Put it down a little bit.
Bring it down.
Very cool.
Oh, you know, we do full side dye sublimation. We don't do heat press your name and number on the back. We make a design and we put it in the jersey. So it's just full factory, which is awesome. My first time I ever saw dye sublimation, like I used to be sponsored by Kenny Racing. Kenny Racing's out of France, and I used to do enough shows in Europe that they sponsored me. And they sent me my first gear and had my name and had my Freestyle TX logo. It was like in the gear, and I was like, "Holy crap! They just made this, and it was the coolest thing ever." And I hadn't seen it done anywhere else until we started doing it. So there may be a couple others now, but we don't do heat. We don't believe in heat press anymore. That's how Michael started, was heat press. Now full dye sublimation. It comes full factory. So
do you have riders, or how does it work? If you design your own gear, are they under the canvas tent, or?
Well, we say brand yourself as our slogan. The logo is not required to be in our jersey. You can put whatever logo you want. A lot of people put our logo on there because the pump to run canvas gear, but they don't make it the giant logo that is Thor or whatever company it is always having all their gear. So it's not required. A lot of people don't do it. A lot of people do. But we have, our riders. We have Pastrana's been running our gear. Nitro Circus gear.
Who's that? What's his name?
I don't know. This one guy. A couple people may have heard of him. I'm not real sure. But so we have his Nitro Circus gear, pumped on that. So I was super pumped.
That's like that Hawaiian looking stuff, right?
Yes, yeah. We make that for them. The guys at Nitro Circus sent us a design, just a square design. Like they had someone design that. Inside of it is characters, like all the Nitro characters in the actual Hawaiian theme. So it's full custom, and then we put it on the gear. And we made his wife some, his kids some. Lindsay posted on her Instagram a photo of her kids racing in our gear, in our jerseys, doing Strider bike races last night. It was awesome. It was so good. The photos are so good. It's going to be wonderful marketing material for us. Wonderful marketing material. Javier Villegas started running our gear this year. Tom Parsons has been with us for a while. Tom is, he's not much of a contest guy. Has a whip contest, but he's killing it off-road on the free ride. So we have Vicky Golden. We've had it before. Well, Michael's first rider he had was Robbie Madison. So the gear that Robbie rode the big wave in, that was canvas gear. Unfortunately, as much exposure as he got from riding the wave, canvas logo wasn't on the gear. People just thought it was DC gear.
Oh yeah.
So it was canvas gear. And then Robbie and Nate joined him right away. So those two guys helped bring canvas up right away. So Michael's relationship with them helped kind of just make the brand legit. Having those two guys on the team were really good. So we have quite a few guys on the team. I can't remember who all it is, but
we had Javier on talking about his Goku gear.
Yes, yeah.
And we had Goku's. Did you see that or no? We had Goku's mortal enemy show up on my side, Vegeta or some shit. I didn't know nothing about it, but my buddy's like, "Yeah, I know this." That was hilarious.
Yeah, so we are going to make him a new set of gear for the Nitro World Games and for XGames. And
is he going to X?
Well, let's just assume he's going to go to XGames.
Okay. I hope so.
He's killing it. He's riding so good. He's going to do good at Nitro again.
Is-
Be surprised if
Is
he's not an X.
after Nitro?
Yes. Nitro is June 24th-ish, something like that. And XGames are July 14th-ish, I think. So, a couple weeks later. But Javier gets to make his own gear. I don't know who he's going to want to be. What, maybe another Goku character, or he has a lot of toy characters. Cartoon characters. So
Whatever happened to that? What's that movie that came out that was super popular?
A lot of them.
No, okay, that's true. You made some gear, the red gear.
Oh, Deadpool.
Deadpool, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it for the first time the other day.
Yes, made some Deadpool gear, which surprisingly, the Deadpool gear was for a 12-year-old kid. I'm like, that movie was hilarious as much as it surprised me. Like, I wasn't ready for him to be as dirty and vulgar as he was, which I enjoyed. But I'm surprised that a 12-year-old kid is his favorite character. But anyways,
my kids hated that movie.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, yeah, you had a kid.
They did see Popstar. That was a mistake. I'll say that. Did you see Popstar?
No.
Oh my gosh, you should watch that. It's funny. I think it's called Popstar.
So yeah, it's for a kid, which I could have made it better once it was printed. I see how it turned out. I could have made it better. We had somebody email the other day ask about making superhero gear, and we can do it. So any idea you can come up with, we can create it. We prefer you to create it. We're not artists. Michael and I, we have some designers that help out occasionally, but mostly we do everything. And we're both getting better the more we're designing stuff, doing stuff. But if someone gives us an idea, I can make it, and I can copy anything. My best specialty is copying any design. Every picture, I'll copy it. But coming up with the idea for some cool jersey is pretty tough. So I'm pretty pumped. I just made some gear for Vicky Golden that she was a little skeptical on, but it's totally 90s, early 90s retro. Just it's gonna be bright and awesome gear. So
it's not out yet.
Extreme stuff or what?
She's like, well, I'm kind of mellow. I'm more, I'm like, I know, so I'm trying to liven you up. It's bright, fluorescent, like pink, purple, blue, black, and then like this kind of cow print on it. It's not really cow print, but it looks awesome. I mean, yeah, it's super good. So
I got some over the boot cow print pants.
What's funny is
why don't we make boot gaiters? Let's make some.
Our manufacturers. I asked them about designing some over the boot pants because in 1 week we had 2 different people asking for dual sport over the boot pants with pockets in them for dual sport riding. I asked them and they said absolutely not. They said we will not make, because our manufacturers, Radical Racing, they have their own gear down in South America. And they were like, absolutely not. We will not make over the boot pants. Bring this back. So
sticklers.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of work getting things right. And they're like, it's going to be 2 people. 1 or 2 people that are going to buy it, and that's going to be it ever. So we're going to do all this work designing gear for no one.
Maybe not. I don't know. You might have like an LBZ flashback.
Be cool. It's fun. We've had we've talked to Flesh Gear about possibly bringing back some Flesh Gear, but actually like tucked in the boot pants, but labeled Flesh Gear. So they contacted us about trying to help them out. So we've helped out some cool companies. We've got some cool things on. I can't even tell you about what's going to happen in a month. I mean,
you gotta hint. You gotta tease it.
The tease is that. So when I first met Michael, I had to come up with ways how I could improve Canvas, what I could bring to him, for me to be a part of the company. I had 2 ideas. The first idea was to make an online designer where you could do full coverage designer for dye sublimation, because he had a designer where you could just have a white or black jersey and you put logos on it and they heat pressed. They just began to do some sublimation, but you couldn't design the jersey. So I created that on the website, and then my other idea was a way for us to be easier for people to buy our gear, and you'll be able to buy it in many places. Besides on your phone or on your computer at home. So it's going to be awesome. We're going to be in a lot of places. Still customization. It's hard to even tease for it, but
All
it's
right, well,
it's exciting. It's gonna go big. We're going to make a mark. People are going to want to copy, notice. Do what?
I believe in you.
That's good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
So let's talk about some old school stuff. Everybody knows you for going big, and I always say Chuck is the most unassuming badass, because if you had a row of people and you were like a lineup and you were like, who do you think is the gnarliest dude in that lineup, they would never pick you, but it would almost always be you. And that when I met, I was like, yeah, right. And then I started riding with you, and I'm like, fuck. He just like basically looks at some shit, and that's it. He's going off the face.
I kind of enjoyed, I enjoyed not being what people expected. But I have a thing, it'd been 3 years since I've ridden a full-size bike, besides the moped last week or 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't sure, I heard there were some big jumps, and I was at Apollo Raceway, which is an awesome track, thanks to Matt McCall, to say that. They have, a main track.
Sorry, we gotta take drinks.
Got drinks, sorry.
What are we doing?
You're the train?
Oh, train. Okay. And I was, Michael's dad and a couple of people like, oh, just ride the vet track. It's super fun. The jumps are kind of mellow. There's good turns. And I'm like, turning is not what I want to do. I want to jump, but I'm like, are these jumps going to be? I didn't know how I was going to feel about all the big jumps, about the couple big jumps in the track. But when you have my helmet off, I think one way. As soon as my helmet goes on, I think completely opposite. So, yeah, put my helmet on. 3 years later, I felt fine. Squirrely for sure. A little rusty. The bike was weird. But not scared, so that was nice. Wasn't sure if I was going to be scared or not. And that wasn't.
Chuck's never been scared.
Well, there's the times when you have your helmet off and you think about it. Going to events, whatever. You have all this time when you're looking at the track to think about things. But I guess when you helmet on, it's time to just go and do it. Which is one of the reasons why I never took speed checks. And people were like Derek Cook, who I love, takes a million speed checks on a ramp, but then he greases it every time his first jump. Same as yourself. And I don't know what to think of. What do you guys think of when you're doing speed checks?
I don't know. Probably everything we shouldn't be thinking of. Am I going too slow? Am I going too fast?
And I'm like, what am I doing? Am I going fast? I don't know what I'm supposed to. I don't know how I'm supposed to tell.
You know what the thing is? Okay, so there are some ways. If you're gonna speed check, if you got somebody else to speed check, if you're if you're on flat ground.
Following somebody, if you follow somebody and you want to speed check them that way, then that way can work. But when you just run by yourself and you don't know what you're. I'm like, what are you thinking of? What are you doing?
By myself?
I didn't
one of the very few times I speed checked anything was the last time or not the last time, but it was Guyana, and I got all nervous, and that's why I decided. Normally I don't do that. I look at it and I'm like, all right, this fast, and then I just figure it out. I did that, and it psyched me out completely.
Yeah, I like to run by it a bunch and get myself psyched out, and then worry about it, and then.
The only times I like to speed check when we go to those events where you have to turn and then you have 10 feet of run before a 70-foot ramp. I would practice. I would make sure I could hit the turn. Maybe sometimes I go on the turn. I didn't get the turn good, beginning, so I would maybe back out. But I wouldn't ever run by the ramp. But I'd maybe have to make sure I hit the turn right on my first approach.
No, this is literally the time I was at Dew Tour and Chuck was there, and he asks Brody, he's like, "You want to practice with me?" And Brody says, "Yeah." So then they go up and they get everybody in the riders meeting. We're in like the qualifier practice, so nobody's hit the jumps at all. Like I clearly walked out and I was like, the face of that, it has way too much G at the bottom. Like you're not going to be able to do that. They were like, oh, yeah, right. So then Chuck goes, they're actually getting ready to pull pins, and Chuck goes, I want first practice. And everybody goes, gee, okay, go ahead. And he then turns to Brody and goes, you cool with that? And of course, he probably had already decided what Brody was going to do. We all know.
Now, was that a strategic move to like?
No, that was always
competition.
No, because I always want to go first because I don't want to think about like if I see someone else like I have my. Some people go really slow. They hit really hard the ramp. People carry a lot of speed. Watching people to me it makes me think weird. Like I don't know. Like watching different riders go, I'd rather just have no thought in my mind except for what I want to do.
Don't ever follow Mad Mike.
Do what?
Don't ever follow Mad Mike. You will go like 20 feet past the landing. I listened to him one time and I was like, oh, you got to hit this fucker hard. No. I was like out in the flat.
Yeah. So I didn't like to see people. And then also like the rush isn't there if you know someone's already done it. You know, when there's the big jumps that people are questioning about this and that, like you get a much better rush when you're the first one to jump it. When people don't know what it's going to be like.
So
that's
also,
I would have liked to have gone to events and only been the first one to practice and then not done the event at all.
I just want to park you and leave.
Some of those courses were just, they were tons of fun to ride, but tricking them all was a different thing. So hard for me to get big tricks on all the big jumps. With some guys that were seemed kind of skeptical on hitting the jumps. Once they hit the jumps, they could do the biggest flip tricks, big everything on these big jumps, and I seem to mess up a lot. So enjoyed practice.
So Chuck literally says, I'm standing with him and Brody after, and he goes, I'm going to run by this ramp, this ramp, this ramp, this ramp, and like go through the course. He goes, and then I'm going to turn and I'm just going to jump them in that order. And that's literally what he did until he got to like some 96-foot, that big dirt double that wasn't aimed at the landing. Do you remember all this, Chuck?
Oh, yeah.
And he jumps it and goes all the way down. He's not on the downside. He's on like the right side of the ramp, of the landing. And it just runs into the ground and pitches him over the bars. And he stands up with his visor pressed against his face and just goes...
That was in Cleveland, right?
No, that was Baltimore. That was Baltimore, I think.
No, because I went down off the side in Cleveland. Baltimore, I hit everything just fine.
So he literally picks his bike up, starts it, and just turns around. I ran
the whole course perfectly in Baltimore, and then Cleveland the next weekend or the 2 week, whatever it was, a couple weekends later, is when I went through the whole course and then missed in the big jump. Wasn't angled right. But
yeah.
I've had some bad accidents. Have been missing the landings. By not, I guess maybe not pre-jumping in this thing. Like out in the hills, I've went to the side. First time I compound fractured my tibia. I tore my rotator cuff, broke my rib, my collarbone, all kinds of stuff, knocked out. I was out in Ritchie Canyon, a real big jump, and it's like a tabletop, but suffered up a lip. I think it was like 140 feet. The landing was off to the side. And so I'd been out there before, but never even jumped the jump. Like they're just making it. And I went out there one day and I thought I jumped it one time. I thought I had the angle right and then just went again. My timing was perfect, but I missed the landing to the right hand side. They said I was on the edge of the landing. I don't know. I woke up in the hospital, so
that's the best way to get injured.
I don't know. Yeah, but and then my very first show ever, when I was riding for LBZ, they brought me to Hawaii. It was me, Clifford out of Tanta, and Dan Pastor. We went to Hawaii to do a jump show. And at that time, I only did like heel clickers and can-cans. And I wasn't there to do a trick. I was there to jump a big jump. I was like, awesome. So went and had an awesome time in Hawaii for a few days. And then we go to this track, and the landing was 8 feet tall, 4 feet wide. I mean, it was so maybe 9 feet tall. It was so small, so skinny. And then they built this lip. They were building it at the time for me. Here's the runway. It was off to the angle, the side from the ramp. It was 135 feet.
That gives you more downside, though.
Do what?
That gives you more downside when you jump to landing on an angle.
So I was like, of course, I was like, still, this is like, I was like, okay, I got it, whatever. I was like, I'll get this. So I go, my first jump was like perfect angle, but I was coming up short, came off the bike, landed in the soft side, and like got up, went for it again, jumped, perfect timing, missed the landing off to the left. When I did, I had to jump off again, but when I jumped off, I landed and broke my foot and rolled and broke my ankle in Hawaii, not my foot. So that was for a long time, and that's what caused it was that break that I went. So I didn't want to go to the doctor there because I was like, next day I was going home. I was living in Santa Monica at the time, so I went to UCLA, doctored in LA, thinking like, I went to a good doctor, and he's like, oh, it's just a sprain. I was like, okay, wow, surprised me. That's cool. And the guy was a dick. Let me just say that from right away. I thought I was done for riding dirt bikes, and then told me I sprained my ankle. It still hurt really bad, but then a couple weeks later, I started riding again. It was actually just a few weeks later that I did the riding for Revelation 199. When I went with Malcolm McCassie, who was working for Alpine Stars at the time, forgot how I met him, but I met him, and he was buddies with Travis, and he's like, hey, Travis is filming this video for Castillo Ranch. He wants you to come and ride in it. I was like, awesome. So I went up there, and there's some big jumps if you haven't seen Revelation 199. And my last job I had was a bartender at TGI Fridays. Loved it, didn't want to quit. I had to quit. When I went to Hawaii, I had to quit to go to Hawaii to break my ankle. Anyways, so I took my metal bar, my bar bottle opener, which I still have to this day. I put it in the bottom of my boot because it was like the perfect length of my boot, but it didn't move. So my foot would go in there and it wouldn't flex at all. Like I had to stand in the middle of the peg, obviously, and I had no flex, but I could ride and I could jump all their jumps. But then I went for a long time and it just kept hurting and hurting. I finally went to the doctor, like a year or so later, and like, oh, it was broken. You didn't let it heal right. Now the arthritis is so bad, we're going to need to fuse it. So they scraped out my joint, put a cadaver, cadaver bone, screwed it shut. So now it doesn't go side to side, but that was early on. That was the beginning of my career before anyone really knew who I was. So it doesn't bother me. But
all the same doctor hits dirt bike.
I'm good at angling because I don't take my time to line up, I guess. I don't take my time.
Now you know why I run by it so many times. I'm making sure I'm straight as shit.
Now I know what to do.
I feel like I just look at the ramp and it's like a general area, and like when I'm hitting it, I just like, I don't know if you're the same way. It kind of just like it's there, and I'm like this fast, and then I just go, and then I'm in the air.
Yeah, I guess just when you hit enough of them, you kind of know the speed you need to go.
I haven't hit enough.
I just felt like I already knew how fast to go, and I also am one that's not scared to come up a little short, not scared to go a little long. My bike always set up EBR suspension. Was the latest guys, Dave Schmidt Performance, just throwing those guys out there, the two guys that did my suspension. And I always had a raw car. Like I wanted my suspension to be super stiff with zero rebound in the rear and like kind of average at the front. Because if I came up, I wanted to be able to come up short on a landing. A lot of times we didn't have rolls in our landings, like it's just angles. So if you roll short at it, I've seen guys get bucked over. I could roll short something right out of it. I could flat land a 75-foot ramp where you're going 30 feet in the air, and I could ride out of it.
That's why that
Yeah.
suspension I got from
Because-
you, he says it hard as a rock. And I rode
Yeah.
that bike and I
Fantastic.
was like, this feels really good for me. Does Chuck really have this shit this hard or what?
I also weighed, 150.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe the
I weigh 175 and I liked it.
Yeah.
So imagine
I've
how...
I've had my suspension done for racing, never for freestyle.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, you got it, but I'm lighter than Chuck.
Yeah, I liked it super. Like, I didn't prepare to land smoothly. I wanted to be prepared to mess up. So as long as you rode away, it was a good landing, in my opinion. Like your first jump, which everyone's always, the sketchiest jump is your first jump. Where are you gonna land? Like I wasn't that worried. And that's one thing at the track out at Pala. A couple of the big jumps, like they were putting a couple sections together. The landings kind of also take off, but everything had a mellow enough lift that even I was on a bone stock Yamaha suspension that was horrible. I knew that if I cased anything, I could ride out of it.
Yeah, and you can
So
sit
what's
off
the
the
deal?
faces even on 90%.
what?
You can sit off the faces on a moto track on 90% of the stuff.
Yeah, I was scared to see bounce that bike. It had so much rebound in the rear, like it was so fast. My bike, another thing, from about 2006 on, like whenever I go to a new location, my first jump was always a seat bounce. When I jumped a new ramp, I seat bounced.
That
At
We
times-
did a show.
My timing was better. Seat bouncing.
That sounds
We
really
did a show
scary.
in Little Rock, and you went first thing, like hit it, and I was like, no, he's gonna see. Like that just scared the shit out of me watching a seat bounce first jump, because I always just go long and then reel it in.
Yeah.
So I don't go long to my face.
Well,
But you
people like
greased it.
if you just sit back a little bit on seat bounce and ramps, some ramps have kick your nose down, some will go a little high up. Like to me, seat bouncing would always make it most level on any style of any kind of kick. Was the most level seat bouncing,
That scares me.
but I wanted to seat bounce at the track with the ramp. I mean the bike. I
You
seat
know,
bounced-
4-stroke?
Yeah, I was riding a YZ450. Vital MX loaned the bike to Michael Lieb, who's is my partner. And it was just like a casual ride day. I had a couple guys out riding from out of town. Michael's like, "Yeah, you take turns on my bike." I was like, "Hell yes, let's go ride."
Is that
So
the
it was
first
not
time
set
you
up
ridden
like
a
Michael
450?
could haul ass on it. So maybe the bike suspension was set up for going fast, but I don't go fast on the track. I wasn't trying to go fast. Like back in the day, I used to be decent fast, but I wasn't trying to go fast or whenever. Just going at an average speed, it was just bouncing.
I watched his
Um,
home videos of him and Bob racing on 80s
Yes. Back in the day.
on VHS.
Yeah.
Apparently, Chuck was just a mini
My first
prodigy.
My first race was 1993 Rio Bravo MX. Which
No
Rio
way.
Bravo has tons of
My
history in the
first
sport.
race was
It
93.
was what year?
1993.
I
Mine
said
too.
83. I'm like, you're not that old.
I'm old, but not that old. 1993.
Mine was 93 at Raceway Park, Englishtown.
Awesome. Yeah, Rio's still going. Tracks in Houston, there's some good ones. But I grew up, racing mostly Texas, northern Texas. At the time, there was like Rio Bravo, and there was 290 EMX, and then Highland Open. But the competition in Houston wasn't big at the time. There weren't that many riders compared to what there is now. So we'd travel up north to the bigger events.
So where's the accent? You don't have a Texas accent?
No, I was born in Mississippi till I was 6, then grew up in Texas till I was 20, then in California for a while, back to Texas, back in California. I don't really have an accent. Everyone's always like, "You don't have an accent for anywhere." I'm like, "Well, I'm from everywhere, so I don't know." Yeah. But I also grew up in
Hey, dog, knock it off.
Is that Stella?
what dog is that?
Yeah, Stella and Marley are having a war right now, sprinting back and forth through the house.
Because I don't get to see you. How many people are online right now? Are we at 12?
4. We had 6 at the most.
Tons of.
But Lindsay and Janie and Jeff are watching. Tongue and Groove.
So that's the 4 people that are online.
Yeah, well, they're on one computer, I'm assuming. So,
Okay.
So we're gonna just time our number by 2. Say there's 8.
I miss Tongue and Groove. I've had some good times at Tongue and Groove.
Yeah.
Maybe we're on the Jumbotron at Tongue and Groove.
I think so.
See?
I forgot that Nick was there for that. I was like, what's he talking about?
So I mentioned you said something about Adam Barker earlier, and it's maybe he'll log on, but Adam Fresno Smith too. He's working on Fresno Smith too.
I heard something about that.
Going to be awesome, and I said, "Did you have to give me a good party?" He goes, "I will." He goes, "If you take it serious." He's like, "I mean, this is gonna be legit. We're gonna try to make it like a good movie, you know." And I'm like, "For sure, I'm not gonna." We've also, I guess, they've written a story, and then they decided to change it up, but I'm not sure if my character's still gonna be the same, but I'm gonna be the bad guy.
Did you show him
He's
your
like,
headshot?
Did I show him what?
Your headshot? Did you send him your headshot? And that's how you got in?
Yeah.
Adam British accent though.
I met Adam Barker from. Well, I can go back to that. Anyways, Adam Barker, known him for a long time. So he says he's going to give me a spot. But Adam Barker, talking about old days, I met Adam Barker filming for Wrathchild. Remember that video, Wrathchild?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Of course.
when I moved to,
Hey, we're back up to 6 people. We're back up to 6.
so I went to.
6 Jumbotrons.
So in 1999, I moved to California, and I was going to be either a freestyler or a stuntman, one of the two. I was like, I'm going to go do jumps in my dirt bike. Jay Grimm, who was a writer from Texas that had been living in Houston for a while, was a good friend of mine. He was moving to California to be a mechanic for Jimmy Bars. And he's like, I was like, dude, I want to go. He's like, come out here, stay with us. He's like, you can stay at Jimmy's place, so you can get a place. So at the time I was working at TGI Fridays in Houston, I talked to my manager, and I was like, talked about getting a job, and they would line me up with a job in California. So I was like, sweet, I have a job, I have a place to stay, let's go. So I sold my Jeep, got a van, traded Jay Grimm's dad for a van, for my van, and filled it out with the bike and a few stuff, and moved to California. Stayed with Jimmy Bars for a couple weeks, found an apartment in Redlands, California. Was living there, working at TGI Fridays, going to Riverside Community College, chasing the dream. So luckily, Jimmy was like best friends with Doug Parsons, and those guys had tons of ins, tons of contacts. So those guys went to go filming for a video called Wrathchild, and we went out riding at some spot that was like the biggest jumps I'd seen. It was those two guys, Tommy Clowers, Trevor Vines, Twitch, when he was still on 125 comes out. Stink Mars was there, and Chris Rourke, I think. Maybe someone else. Regan Sing by
Was that a Godfrey movie?
No. Godfrey didn't come until much later.
Who made Wrathchild?
Adam Barker and Troy Adamitis.
Oh, okay.
So those Motor the movies, I think, now.
I remember watching them talking about the making of it and doing different, not making it like a typical crusty type.
Troy and Adam made Wrathchild was like. Either way, so they let me come ride the second day. I met them one day. I went and rode the second day, the same place. I was like, yeah, I'll jump these things. So I did some big jumps, the big 130 step up, and then we go to this tabletop. It's 130 feet, and there's a helicopter up there. Filming helicopter, and I was pumped. I was like, okay, I jumped the jump a couple of times. I had it down, and when I say 130 feet, like it's a poppy booter, 130 feet. And here comes the helicopter. It was like my turn to go. I was like, oh man. So I just whipped it a little bit, just to feel what it was like, just to feel a whip. And I whipped it out and brought it back. How I normally do when on small jumps, you have to bring it back early. Brought it back too early, so it floats over to the side, high side, and get tossed, tumbled. I wake up, and Troy Adamitis is there filming, going, you okay? And Troy was in the helicopter. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I get up, I go riding. They're like, you can't ride again. I was like, dude, I didn't think I got knocked out. And Troy's like, we landed in the helicopter, and I walk, and I'm here. You've been out. I was like, oh, okay. So, anyways, and then we went and filmed We went and filmed. We rode Nocatio. Super windy that day. I only did some small jumps, but I did the small jumps other people do it. Except for Chris Rourke did some stuff. I jumped it. No one else did. And then we went and rode out in Beaumont. I did some cool shots, like training with Trevor Vines and Jimmy Vargas. I was like so pumped for this movie to come out. I was like, I'm gonna have some cool ass shots. I'm like, have to. It's awesome. Whole movie, nothing. Oh,
not even your wreck.
The very last shot is me wrecking. The very last shot of that shot is me wrecking, and I was like, son. I didn't have my name on it. I was like, so my name wasn't there. It just shows here's a guy at Yamaha. It's Yamaha at the time. So I've looked for Rathchild. The video's out there somewhere. The very last clip of the movie is me getting knocked out. But that's where I met Trevor, Troy Adamitis and Adam Barker. And then Chapter 1 came around. So I filmed with them for that.
Is that it?
And that's why you were then like, listen, you can use this footage, but you got to use the footage of me getting over him.
No, okay. Yeah, right there. That's me.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. There you go.
I've seen that like a million times. I didn't know that was you.
Yeah, that's me.
I always thought that was Jimmy Vargas or whatever because he was riding the Yamaha through the whole
right
thing.
After it.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, Chapter 1 comes around, and Jimmy knew these guys, the Neshers, that lived in Banning, that had a little private practice track that Jimmy would go ride at, and Jimmy's like, hey, they let him build jumps out there. So he had these ideas for the jumps. Dan Herron came out and built these massive jumps. And I was like, sweet. I hung out with those guys all the time. I was going to ride it. So they built a 130-foot double, big booter. No one wanted to jump in. I was like, I got it, So as you'll see, like, no one knew how fast to go. Everyone was like, this, and that. I had no clue. I didn't know how to do this stuff. I was in gear, probably, one gear too fast. I had the longest runway, thinking you had to, we didn't know how to jump these big jumps at the time. No one could tell me what to do. And so I overshot the jump. And you see him right there. That's when I overshoot, go tumbling like on flat ground. But I'll say, like, the day I jumped at, like, Trevor Vines was there, Kenny Bartram, Tommy Clowers. Like, there were a lot of Parsons, Tyler Evans. Like, there was a lot of big names there not jumping it. And I was,
did you jump that before Willow or McGrath or anybody?
Before anyone. Okay, so then they built these doubles. They were on the hill, different jumps, but the first one was 135, and you had a super weird angle, and then the second one was, I think it was 125.
So those are the ones that you crashed on a bunch.
They had big valleys in them, so they looked even bigger than they were.
Yeah.
Dan Herron, Dane jumps massive. There were walls. We're jumping like so. No one wanted to jump it again, so we were out there, and I went for the first 135, and I landed on the left-hand side. I go up there, and then I go tumble and go down. And then another one of those, something like that, like a little fumble. Then I get it lined up right, and then I hit the next one. Actually, the 125, I jumped it first by rolling over the landing of the 135 and just pinning it in third. It was like perfect timing. So I did the second one before I did the first one. And then when I did the first one, I got them both together. And then no one else wanted to jump that 135, so they took the time and they moved the lip to the right. So then the jump became 125 or 130, a little bit shorter. Had a straighter run, but then you had a turn. Like you couldn't sweep it. You had to like kind of sharp turn to the slip. Anyways, I jumped that one fine. And it was the last day, that one time, I don't know, on the second jump, once again, I got a little sideways, wasn't ready for that one, threw me down, knocked out. But we were there filming for a total of 7 days. No one jumped until the last day. McGrath tried that one time, jumping the first one of the double-double, came up short, hurt his wrist, didn't race Mammoth the next weekend, or like 2 weeks later because of that. He made this, media was something else, but he didn't go race Mammoth because of that. And then the very last day, Chris Rourke jumps everything perfect, badass, like kills it.
Yeah.
But it was the seventh day. And there were a lot of guys that went out there, and Chris was the only person besides me to jump the two. So then
Willow? Didn't Willow jump, or was that different jumps?
That was the flat one. That was the 130 flat one.
Oh, okay.
So then, all these days I did my crashes. I jumped it plenty of times. It was a while later. Adam calls me up. He's like, "Hey man," he goes, "We have this idea I want to give you your own part in the video. Can we come out there and do some video of you like it was there, So I'm like, yeah, sure. And I thought it was cool to be in a video. So he comes to me, and all the talking of me in my van, me laying in the back of my van holding my neck was like fake. That was just all fake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're ruining this whole movie for me, Chuck.
Killing. Hey, it's killing. There's Adam's lines for me to say. You can show whatever you want as long as you show that I make it. Like that was what he told me to say, and I was like, okay, cool. And I thought it was going to be used in a way that this guy was crazy. Look what he went through to finally do it. Is what I thought it was going to. And then the video comes out. Like we went to Vegas, Supercross Finale. There was like I forget what it was. It was some show. I forget where we watched. Anyways, it was in Vegas and watched it. And maybe it was not there. That was it. Anyways, whole point was my part comes up. Crash test dummies are blowing into the cars. This and that. They show the crash, and from like 3 different angles, so it looks like it's more than one crash, but it's like 3 different angles of the same crash. And I'm just like, once again, sons of bitches. Like so. I was so pissed off.
You wanted to be a stunt man. That's basically a stunt man.
Yeah. So I just then I called Adam angry, whatever, and he's like, dude, trust me. He's like, now I know I'm a firm believer in no press is bad press. Firm believer in that. I didn't believe in that at the time. For the longest time, people would see me, oh, you're the chapter 1, never made it. I never made it. Ha, just kidding. That's all I ever heard until X Games, and finally, like 75% of people knew me from X Games, and still 25% of people knew me from Chapter 1. I'm like, really? So Adam Barker, done a lot with them. They filmed other times. All went well. When I won X Games 2004, Adam had a custom shirt made that said Huckachuck on it.
I remember that.
He was there at X Games filming for whatever he was filming for, but sporting my shirt, and he was friends with a lot of the militia guys, with everyone at the time. And at the time, there was kind of a separation between militias and the non-militias, and this and that. And me being Alex Thompson's boyfriend, me being the owner of Freestyle Sex boyfriend, who people hated, and like they didn't like me. So anyway, they were so mad at Adam for wearing this shirt. They were pissed off. Like, what the hell are you doing wearing that?
That's
this
awesome.
and that. Like, and he's like, what? They're my friends. I mean, he's like, I'm here to support them. See what's.
I like Adam already, and now that made me like him more.
Michael, what are you doing?
You're on that show, sorry.
Yeah, you're on the show too. What's going on?
You're on speakerphone.
You're on speakerphone.
Man, how's it going, guys?
What's up?
Fantastic. Talking about old days, Michael, because that's all I have to talk about are old days. We already talked about Canvas, told him how awesome Canvas is. So now we just have to back up to my old days.
Old days, man, I haven't even seen any old videos. I just watched my first time watching Chapter 1.
He never seen so Michael Lee has missed out on. He doesn't know, like, he's never seen any motocross videos. Like, didn't know anything about any.
So
like,
you were just some nerd that come up to him at the damn radio show.
He was just raised to ride dirt bikes. All he did was ride dirt bikes. He just rode dirt bikes. That's all he did.
I rode dirt bikes and played on my pit bike every day.
No, I'm talking about Chuck was just some nerd that come up to you and was like, hey, man, like, I
told him
I really like Canvas MX.
Escondido Action Sports Show. So he said that I'm a nerd that came up to you, wanted to talk about Canvas.
Yeah.
You didn't know how I was. Well, at least he knew I had something. I was there to talk about myself on the radio show. So he's like, oh, that guy.
Hey, do you remember Sloan? Ask him if he remembers Sloan. Or Jody hang up on him.
No, he's still on. Sloan, do you remember Sloan, Michael? Sloan who?
Halsey.
Hersley?
Sloan who?
Yeah, no, so like, do what?
My sister used to date a Sloan.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he says. We already talked about that. Maybe Sloan told me that, or somebody. Maybe she.
Yeah. When we were at XGames.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, back in the day. Okay, Michael, I'll talk to you later. Unless you have some unless you just told me you came to tell me that we just got a huge giant order, then that we can tell everyone about that. No,
I've got groundbreaking ideas that I just thought of in my head, and
we won't tell anyone.
I told him about that. I was trying to tease the thing. I was like, I don't even know what to say. Like, in a month it's gonna be awesome, but I don't know how to even tease it.
We're not telling nobody nothing.
There's only 4 people
6
listening.
people know about it.
Okay, yeah. Write it down, Michael. Write it down. All right.
Man, celebrity guest appearance.
You gotta write down ideas because I forget.
We're gonna zoom in on that.
This is my
Enhance.
This was my list for Monday. I did dealer emails for jerseys. Deal that. Scotch dealer. I gotta do something. Oh yeah, I'm also I'm outside sales rep for Scotch Industries. Scotch Industries is awesome.
What's Scotch?
They are consumer electronics and car audio. So Scotch, they were one of my first outside the industry big sponsors in 2003. I met them through Dan McGranahan. No, I met them through Dan, but through Johnny Evanall, who got me writing some Dan McGranahan shows, who then knew the guys at Soundcase. Soundcase sponsored me. Soundcase made CD cases. Remember when everyone was like, you had to have a cool CD case? Like it was it was velvet, plush. Kids these days. Clint, you had CD cases, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, Soundcase was the sister company of Scotch. Scotch started it with car audio stuff. Like they make speakers. I won a car at XGames when I won. I got an athlete of the games. Won a Saturn Redline View that was awesome, and then they just decked it out with the system. It was amazing. But nowadays, what they mostly do is consumer electronics stuff for your cell phone. They're in Walmart's, Target's, AT&T stores. Like they have cables, speakers, everything for your iPhone. So they now have a licensing agreement with Rockstar Energy Drink, and
I saw that in the magazine.
Yeah, and it's this Rockstar products are only going to be sold at Powersport dealers. So you can't buy them on Amazon or at Walmart. And they have full waterproof, outdoor rugged speakers that you cannot destroy. They have lifetime warranties on a phone charge. Clint, when I would travel all the time, how long do your phone chargers work? Your phone cables, they go out all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, it will only be $5-10. Do what?
It's unheard of, lifetime warranty.
So, that lifetime warranty, because we're talking about it.
Going? You're the guest.
Look at this legal mess. How can I deal with this?
Let me show you this. Bag here. Look at this custom bag that we made in Canvas. Make bags. Look at this.
Does it play music? Can I charge my phone off it?
Here's what I talk about. So Michael and I, we talk on Skype every day. And I have a 1-year-old daughter, 13-month-old daughter who's here downstairs. My mother-in-law comes and watches her during the day. So they make a little noise downstairs. I'm in a loft, so there's no sound barrier.
And he's very easily distracted.
What? Is what?
He's easily distracted.
Yes, I'm so distracted. I have left frontal brain damage, Clint. Can I tell you about that?
Doesn't have that.
You didn't actually get that specific, but I'm afraid to go get. I don't want to get scanned. So
after I quit with riding dirt bikes for a job, started working with venture capital, doing work, investment work, and startup companies. Ran into Motoped. I was one of the founders of Motoped and helped start that company. I'd never worked so many at the time. I've now worked just as hard, but at the time I never worked so many hours on a computer trying to just do a million things. And back in like 2006, I tried some ADD medicine when I was riding, because I started catching myself. I was going to the ramp, and I'd be thinking about something completely different than what I'm about to do. And here I am going towards the ramp. So I was like, I need to try some ADD drugs. And so I went to the doctor, got some. It was awesome, but I could totally focus. My riding was so good, but normally weighing 150, I dropped down to like 137. And I was like, I'm done with 3 months. And I was like, I'm done with this. So I got off of it. Then did try it again until was working with Motoped. And my insurance, the psychiatrist said, like, they only prescribe Adderall for someone that has ADHD. And I was like, well, you asked me the basic example questions. I have ADHD. And she's like, well, you need to go to a psychologist for an exam. I'm like, okay. So I went to a psychologist with a 6-hour brain test. So they didn't like scan my head, but it was the most exhausting test I've ever taken in my life. It's been a long time since I've taken a test. I had to do all these word problems and math problems and remembering weird things and this and that. And come to the conclusion at the end of the day, she says, my memory is great with numbers, horrible with names. My speaking, my mumbling and slurring is from everything's in the left frontal brain, left frontal lobe. All the trouble that I have, short-term memory, long-term memory, my memory, everything is there. I can get numbers on your right side. I can put numbers together. I can remember numbers good, but words and names I have to work hard on. So it's equivalent. So she said that I do not have ADHD, but I have the similar circumstances as someone that does, because I have brain damage. So I can now get Adderall, and during the day I can focus.
Do you want to hear my Adderall story?
Tell it to me.
Somebody from Wisconsin found some Adderall in the back of one of the cars that was going to get crushed by the monster trucks. So,
how do you know it was Adderall? How did this person know
it was in a prescription. It was in a prescription bottle, and he's like, hey, I've seen Adderall before. All right.
Wait, you hear that?
It was the capsules. Oh, train drink.
Yep. Speaking of Adderall, I'll be right back. And I think I got that frontal brain shit too.
Yeah.
Probably
well,
do.
only because I was in a coma. I was in a coma for a while. My head swelled up, and then my brain was bleeding, and I can't remember shit.
So my 05 really bad crash turned down Memphis, Tennessee, or maybe it was Nashville. One of those Tennessee places.
Doug took a picture of.
I hit down to my left front on that.
I was going to ask you, which way do you turn down? To the right?
I turn down to the right.
Yeah. So then you come back exactly just. Whoop.
That was a big one. It was a big one. It didn't come back straight. I was out for 26 minutes. I wasn't in a coma, but I was out for, they said, 26 minutes. And that was one that I don't know if you recall.
Hey,
I was done. Well, hello. Nick.
I killed Nick.
Okay. Yeah, so I had like my brain was messed up for about a year and a half. I was told that description was drunk. I couldn't see straight. It was like not like a blurry straight, but it was like a wobbly drunk. Dizzy for a year and a half. So that was bad. That kind of hurt my riding a little bit, but
I remember.
That's when I went to XGames 2005 with 1 week of practice because I shouldn't have been riding. My head was hurt. Obviously, didn't turn out so good. 05 XGames crashed, but that had to be. I mean, I've been knocked out numerous times, but that was the one time that I was.
Or winter.
I'm saying was the brain damage time.
So anyway, back to my Adderall story.
Okay,
He said that it was like baby Coke. It wasn't that strong. And so then we did a bunch of it, and then we found out that it was time released, so then we didn't sleep all night. So then about 3 or 4 o'clock, they're like, hey, what are you going to do? And I'm like, well, I'm going to do more because I'm starting to get tired, and we got another show to ride tonight. So,
Oh,
so I did some more, and then I fucking killed the show that night.
killing it.
I was focused as shit.
I don't take time release. That's when I lost so much weight. I took a time release of something else. Time release, like it lasted for 13 hours a day, and then
no shit.
I could 13.
Don't do it at like 10 o'clock at night, because you will not sleep.
I was so. As I was in Camp Chuck, I was outside working nonstop, 13 hours. I would forget to eat. That's why. Anyways, then I took him off of it, and I was super grouchy. So now my Adderall intake is not. It's just like it's good for a few hours.
Let's settle down, everyone. Good.
Is that your first beer, Chuck?
Of the day, yes.
He's been milking that one.
To take your beer.
What do you mean?
Well, you forgot because you're forgetful because you hit your head, so you got to drink.
I only drink one beer a day. I don't drink. It's getting close to being low.
Let's see your abs, Chuck.
I drink a beer nearly every day, but only one of them.
All right.
Next time.
You're very controlled.
I don't know how to
You're
take
very
that
controlled.
Next.
Listen, I've only had one drink, but it's only because I haven't let it get completely empty, and I just keep adding tequila and then
what do you
more
got?
water.
Tequila?
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course. The good shit.
No.
Hey, anybody wants a really good tequila that the price point is good, get up on this.
Nobody wants tequila.
Patron is
the worst.
shit. Patron is shit. You people just pay him for the name.
I'm a nice guy, and tequila makes me mad and angry. So I don't drink
everybody.
Well,
yeah.
No, it doesn't. Look at me.
It doesn't.
Look at me. You know, here's the thing. The two alcohols I drink, tequila and whiskey.
Yeah, whiskey.
Yeah. Whiskey.
Yeah, but name one that doesn't make people a maniac. Like, I drink vodka. No, you're psycho.
That's why I drink beer.
One a day.
What's that stuff that makes you trip?
Hey, you know what? Hey, Greg Hartman, who's one of my favorite people ever. He was in a coma for 6 weeks or so. His brain doctor said a beer a day is good for his brain. And I'm like, perfect.
Why? Because it thins your blood?
5's better, right?
It's for my brain recovery. I drink a beer for brain recovery. Because I need it.
I smoked the Chiba for brain recovery.
That's good. I can't believe we've been on for an hour and 9 minutes. What have we talked about for an hour and 9 minutes?
You going big.
It's all Chuck.
Tricks and
tricks,
gear.
canvas, work, whatever. You know you got...
No heat labels. We got sub-dyed.
Yeah.
We got... Hey, Chuck, right now you got the first person ever to do a backflip on a four-wheeler watching you.
Oh, he's on?
Yeah.
UTA?
The Wheelers. That's what he wrote in the chat room. Wheelers.
Yeah, it's like her head's a little twisted.
Told him nuke the Wheelers. Uh-oh. Chuck's turned his computer on. We lost him.
I should log on YouTube so I can get one extra person watching.
Hey, what do you think about Supercross? Have you been paying attention?
Always paying attention.
You're in the land of Supercross.
Oh, there it is. Echo.
Yeah.
Okay. There's another person. Yeah, I'm way more of a Supercross fan than anything else.
Yeah.
I think freestylers is fun. I don't care to watch freestyle. I like watching racing. Yeah, it's been a good season. I'm surprised. I mean, I was happy that Eli came back and was like going to go to the last round. Then he had that huge just off night.
Yeah.
So that was but I'm a Dungey and Eli fan. Like either one of them wins, I'm fine with. But I enjoyed. I wanted it to come down to like the last round because it's been so long until there was a
tight championship to the end.
Tight championship. Yeah. So that's been the good part.
I mean, they're still pretty close.
You think Tomac's throwing it in? Like, that seemed kind of like, I don't know, like he's taking a while to get on the bike. I don't know.
Yeah, it was
the whole thing was weird.
That night, yeah.
New Jersey.
It was
Gets weird here.
yes, it does. Everyone learned that when they watched the Jersey Shore. We all learned about Jersey from Jersey Shore. Because now that's exactly how everywhere New Jersey is Jersey Shore.
No, I know. Believe me. Listen, I traveled the country being a person from New Jersey during the time that bullshit was on TV.
Yeah.
That's all
what a stereotype to have.
Oh man! And you know what? The other thing is, that was the era of reality TV, and for some reason, anytime somebody was from New Jersey, they would go, "Yo, Jersey," and I'm like, "Hey, shut the fuck up, all right." Somebody goes, "Hey, I think that guy's from New Jersey." I was like, "He hasn't screamed it out loud yet. Obviously, he's not."
That's how you know.
We will tell you. Don't worry.
Yeah, so I mean, I could always, I could talk about my history for hours, so that's too long. And we talked about Canvas, talked about Scotia.
Okay.
Let's talk about Guyana, Clint's most recent trip. We never got to it last weekend.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I watched that video today. That was good.
Chuck has no idea what you're talking about. But it's
I saw you. Come on, I follow Two Wheels to Freedom. I mean, I follow you on Instagram, so I know everything you do, Clint.
Yeah, we went to Guyana, did over 1,000 miles on a dirt bike. I didn't realize that it was going to be quite that long.
How far?
Over 1,000.
How many days did that take?
7. So we did.
How bad was your monkey butt?
It wasn't bad. I stood most of the time.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, I could barely walk because my leg didn't want to function after that. But I stood most of the time because I was on a moto bike. So it was kind of a little bit rough for riding through the trails for that long anyway. And
my Honda 450?
I was on a YZF 450 the first 2 days, and then it blew up. And then I got on a CRF 450. What do you got going on here, Nick?
I got people. This is
What's going on? Nice to meet you.
Where are you? Are you at the coffee shop?
No, I'm in my office.
This is his office where they work.
Yeah.
He getting you a beer?
All day long, when a train passes there, they slam a beer. They're working, they're having a meeting. All of a sudden, the train goes by. They're like, "Everybody get a fucking old style."
It's after hours.
Everybody get an old style. Let's slam this thing. Right? Because that's what you guys slam is old style in Illinois, right?
Chuck gets it, drinks his 1 beer a day. You got to stay motivated.
So, man, yeah.
How successful he is.
The weekends I may have 2. Maybe. But,
I've seen Chuck have a couple.
Yeah, I mean,
His entire life.
Obviously, there's the time for that, but I mean, Canvas this year for the past year and a half, I've been, Michael and I both working 7 days a week. So I mean, so much trying to get things going, and things they're good. I mean, we're doing good now, but it's just gonna get better.
Well, and you got a Bambino now. That's a motivator, right?
Yes.
Majorly.
I made two new decisions based off of things that did this.
All right, so back to Guyana.
What? Yeah, sorry, go on, Clint.
So, yeah, we did 1,000 miles. We rode to the border of Guyana and Brazil. We bathed in the rivers. There was no...
I saw your white devil ass bathing in the river.
Yo, the driver kept going.
I watched that video with my dad. He goes, "He's not going to get in that water, is he?" Because he thought it was like crocodile infested or something.
I'm literally, everybody just goes, "Hey, white boy." That was just me the whole time. So the driver of the truck, of like the backup truck, the entire time is just going, "Hey, don't get in the shade. Go into the sun. Go stand in the sun." I'm like, "Listen, it's not that easy because I'm going to be red and all that shit's going to peel off." Yeah, I can't just stand in the sun for a day. But we visited Amerindian villages and ate fruit off all the trees. And it was a pretty epic time. I would suggest anybody. I'm going to try and set it up, but I want to go back next year already. Probably ride a better suited motorcycle, like an enduro motorcycle, but other than that.
So do you have like a chase truck come with you or what?
Yeah, exactly. We got a truck follow us with all of our fuel. Here's the thing is all those villages, like you literally get fuel in 5-gallon or 55-gallon barrels. Like, so we would, apparently they shipped barrels out and we had gas waiting for us in villages because these villages, literally there's no electricity in most of there's like the store that has electricity. The rest of everybody's houses don't. We slept in hammocks just in little huts with literally like palm trees or palm leaves like thatch, like woven into the roof. That was the roof. There was no.
I saw one of those pictures.
Yeah, I mean,
all I can think about was like snakes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's big spiders.
Just crawling in there with you.
Well, it was the mosquitoes, and I got eaten. The one time we got into another river, and for some reason when I got out, the flies just attacked me and bit me, and I had bumps all over my back and chest and shit. But
the white devil.
Yeah, I was delicious, apparently. I think it's all the preservatives that we eat in America. The bugs are like, oh, this is great.
Okay, guys. You guys can keep chatting. 7:15.
We're not going to. We can't do it.
I'm gonna bathe my daughter. Bathe my daughter and put her to bed.
He's empty.
You're a faker, Chuck.
Yeah, it's empty. I'm not gonna run downstairs and open a beer for one sip.
I thought Grandma. Yeah.
But I have a daughter.
Get another beer, Chuck.
I have a freaking badass daughter. We spend some time with, give her a bath, put her to bed.
What about your wife?
She's with her right now. My wife is awesome, but I like to spend time with my daughter. So I don't want my wife to just do all the work for me.
Well, I know. I was just asking how your wife was. Also, you turned it into like you're like she's cool or whatever, but I'm trying to see my daughter.
She's awesome. I'm just trying. I thought you were trying to say like, well, can't your wife do it?
No, that's not what I was saying. I love Sandra.
Making me sad, Chuck. I wish I could just see my kids.
Yeah.
He's full of shit. He follows them around, Snapchatting them all day long. Well,
follow Sandra Carothers on Snapchat. You'll see my daughter.
I know. She hadn't liked anything that I posted in forever until I posted your face up there, and then that was it. She's on there liking it.
Of course.
Well.
Yeah, she spends her time on Snapchat, not on other stuff.
Well, I got her on there. She's not sending me shit. WTF?
Yeah.
Sandra G. See?
I'll tell her.
I'm sure she can hear me downstairs. She's probably sitting in the living room right there.
No, she's not. I think she's at our neighbor, so.
Well, then where is the baby? Where is the baby?
2 doors down. She just runs around. 2 doors down, there's our friends we met living here. They have a daughter that's 5 months older than Mia, so they're like best friends. Our kids are best friends. Like,
such good friends.
The kids' parents are awesome, so we pretty much eat at each other's house like every night. And even though I've already ate here because I made chili today, didn't turn out so good, but I ate before I got on the show.
And they're eating now.
I'm gonna go see what Ben's up to. Nice meeting you guys.
Yeah, tell Ben I said what's up. Tell Ben we all said hi.
As soon as Chuck leaves, I'm bringing those two guys back, and they're gonna talk about their kids, and we're just gonna baby talk until Clint signs off.
You know what? I can talk about my kid forever. It's what's annoying.
Yeah, I can talk about my kid forever.
I was totally the person that not into kids. I'm like, then I got older and all of a sudden I met a wife who I thought would be an awesome mom, and I have an amazing kid, and I am so pumped on it. So I don't hang out as much, but I'd rather hang out with my daughter than most other people. So
that's it. Next week, my kids are on the podcast. I'm bringing them in. Chuck's not topping me on this shit.
Hey, Mia will come. She'll say hola to you guys. Hola.
What?
Like it's the,
What is she speaking? How old is she now?
I don't know, some shit in another language.
13 months.
13
Well,
months.
my wife's from El Salvador, and she speaks fluent Spanish. And my mother-in-law is obviously El Salvador. She only speaks to my daughter in Spanish. We want her to learn Spanish first. But she's learning like Spanglish. She says the easy words in Spanish she says, and the easy words in English she says. So she has Spanglish.
Have you talked to Javier about that whole?
No.
So when I was around them, he even said, he was like, they don't realize they're speaking in two languages until they're like 2 or 3, and then they actually like break it up, because they would talk to me. I remember being around them, and I was like, what the hell did he just say? I got like half of that sentence. The rest of it was gibberish. I'm not sure what's going on. He's like, that's his own like little, like you said, they
so
would
even though
just
I
mix
took
them
a couple
together.
years of Spanish in high school, I don't remember. I'm relearning it. As she learns it, I'm relearning it. So that her and her mom can't talk about me behind my back when they're older. So I have to learn it.
That's
That's gonna
Javier's
happen
problem.
regardless.
Of course.
That's
they
Javier's
can
problem.
talk about me behind my back. They can't talk about me in front of my face. So.
Yeah.
I still want
Girls
to
can do
talk
that,
about me in
dude. It's
front of
amazing.
That's Javier's issue, is that Claudia's learning English better and better.
Yes.
He's like, I can't just talk whatever I want.
He's got to watch his mouth now.
He's got to watch it.
Watch out, Javier. Okay, guys, I'm out. Good talking.
All right, yeah. Anything you want to plug?
Good job.
Just everybody check out Canvas MX
Canvas MX.
and Emotocons. Check out Emotocons, right? Chuck loves Emotocons. Chuck actually, for everybody. Is it on there? So actually, the helmet design ones.
Look at that.
Yeah, all the helmet designs, Chuck actually did. So the emoticon faces in the helmets, Chuck actually did for me. And I probably sold like $50 worth extra because of that. So I'm very grateful.
Okay, that means you buy me beer next time.
All right, I got you next time.
We'll be even.
I'm out
All right.
there.
Good night, guys.
Everybody,
Hey,
we're
Chuck.
out.
Later.
Eventually, whenever I can shut it down.
All right, I'm going to the bar.
Hold on.
What?
Well, let me at least figure out how to shut off before you just leave me. It's just me here by myself going, what the fuck's going on? All right, we're stopping stream. We're out.
That was a short show.
I know, Chuck's.
He gave us this pitch and he peeled out.
That's right. That's Chuck. He's a good guy, though.
I know he is. That
I'll
was a
take
good
it.
interview. That was a good one.
I know. All right, everybody, squeeze it easy. Keep in touch with yourselves.